Welcome to the Korea International Circuit for Round 2 of GTAsia 2015. Round 1 is already in the books, and it was a cracking start to the 2015 season. Plenty of drama throughout the race, but it was Davide Rizzo and Anthony Liu who took their Ferrari to victory.
Confidence is always the same, but I guess we just have to take it race by race. You know, it is what it is, and it'll be what it'll be, so nothing much else to do.
It's quite a good start. We started P3 yesterday, and actually we finished P4, P5, and P8. Actually, we did a little bit mistake in a pit stop for car number 55, but was quite a good start. You know, everything new. So for us, we knew that the first race was not like straight to the top, but we will get there very soon.
This team is good. We hope we can, under this team, can do the very good for the end of the season. So let's see.
The championship is tough, so you have to do everything perfect to don't make any mistake and reach the end of the race without any problems.
For sure, our target is to finish on the podium, but this year it's really tough. You know, there are a lot of good drivers. Some are factory drivers, so it will be a nice challenge.
It's been a really good experience to have my first weekend here in Korea with GTAsia. It's been a really eye-opening experience for me, racing in Asia. Really friendly, nice atmosphere around the paddock, and absolutely brilliant to be back in the Bentley.
On then to qualifying for round 2. Slightly hazy conditions and slightly slower times than in round 1's qualifying, but the usual suspects at the front. Definitely Max Visa, Darrell Young, Adelaide Fong, new to the championship, teaming up with Kedisawa for Bentley Team Absolute, one of the favourites, and of course another Bentley, number 77, that of Duncan Tappy and Young in the Bentley Team Absolute. They got 12th. Third place for round 1 winners Liu and Rizzo. They were beaten out by Adelaide Fong and Kedisawa, who took the runner-up spot in qualifying to the Bentley. But the pole, without a doubt, belonged to Darrell Young and Jonathan Venter. The young Australian Evolution Academy driver, just a 1/10 of a second off Young in practice. They dominated proceedings. But drama for front row starter Fong when he crashed at turn 10.
I got brake checked, and we have a bit of damage to the car. So yeah, the mechanics will be working hard, the team will be working hard to get the car back out for the race.
Team's been working hard the whole weekend. Practice, we were just chipping away, so to get pole is a real relief.
So congratulations to the Aston Martin of Jonathan Venter and Darrell Young. They take the pole ahead of Adelaide Fong in the Bentley. Anthony Liu, the winners of round 1, in 3rd place. Hamaguchi 4th. Bidambakti in 5th place. Bokwen Sung in 6th. Frank Yu 7th. And Richard Wee in 8th place. Here we go then for the rolling start, round 2, creeping up to the line. On the right-hand side, Jonathan Venter in the VLT Aston Martin. On the left-hand side, Adelaide Fong in the white Bentley. Just crawling up to the line. Everybody in position. And away they go. Good clean start. Venter gets away well, should make it to the first corner first, and he does. Whoa, damage! Looks as though a skittle effect there. Yang Xin involved. Was he the perpetrator, I wonder? I think he was hit as well. But either way, as they head down the long back straight, it's still Jonathan Venter in the Aston Martin that leads the way. The smoke at the back, somebody's got damage for sure. Oh, and that's Bokwen Sung! The Clearwater Racing man is out, the former champion. And that could cause a safety car. Anthony Liu in the war already. Winner of round 1 and knocked back that time to what? 5th place. And Yang Xin it is, whose bodywork is throwing up some smoke. And I think that's just the tyre scraping on the bodywork. Now, will the safety car come out? It's Venter, PT from Thailand, then Fong dropping to 3rd. Liu, Wee, Hamaguchi, Yu, Frank Yu in 7th place ahead of Lowe. Then it's Lee in 9th place and Yashiro in 10th. That's the top 10, and already Jonathan Venter is off to the races, pulling away at the front. An excellent start by him as we go on board with the Chinese, Anthony Liu, in the BBT Ferrari. Looks so effortless, doesn't it? He's a very laid-back character, Anthony Liu. Just goes about his business, doesn't have so much to say in the press conferences, and lets his ability in the car do his talking. And he's done a pretty good job so far. And the safety car is out. So that will change things, and all that work that Jonathan Ventnor did is out. And yeah, some of the team managers not particularly happy. Here's another look at the start. Here's what happened. It was the J-Fly Racing Bentley that clipped Jiang Xin, and he then just knocked himself into Mock. And that pushed Mock out and pretty much ended his day and Jiang Xin's in the McLaren. Here's another look from Mock's position. Going about his business, and just as he turns in, boom, he's knocked wide, and that's out. So Mock really had no prior knowledge of that, and we are under safety in round 2 from Korea. And in comes Jackie Young in the number 77, and that's not a planned pit stop, so problems also for one of the other Bentleys. In comes Jiang Xin as expected. Max Lisa watching on. His teammate, Mok Wen-sung, is done for the day. So the restart, and Ventnor will try and build again, and he does so. Pitti in second place at the Ferrari. Then another Ferrari, Anthony Liu, winner of round 1, already side by side with the Bentley. Great drive off the last corner by the Chinese, and he's passed Pitti as well. Into second place, sensational stuff by Anthony Liu to go into second place. So we are racing again, green flags being waved, and Venter trying to pull away the young Australian at the front. But now Anthony Liu's got his focus very much set on the Aston Martin. Oh, and Pitti looks at the inside again, trying to come back at Liu, and they're side by side, the two Ferraris. This is going to get interesting. Liu goes to defend, and the Thai driver is in good form early on in the season. Liu and Rizzo, though, have the best record of anybody here in Korea. They were a surprise package last year, but certainly no surprise this year. Didn't qualify that well in round 1, but still won it. And they look odds on to do it again here in round 2. Over the crest again. And Venter and Oh-Young, because of the DNF in round 1, do have the advantage of some fresh tyres, 2 sets of fresh tyres, and of course no penalty for victory as Liu has. Jeffrey Lee, ooh, slight off-track excursion, but okay. Plenty of runoff here in Korea, Formula 1 spec circuit. So Young and Lyons, watch on. And here's a confirmation, Venter, Liu, Pitti in 3rd place still, and Lei Fong in 4th. Then Yu now up to 5th place in the number 88. That's good work from Frank Yu. He's got past Wee and Hamaguchi. Hamaguchi, though, we can expect to make a surge before the pit stop. Remember, compulsory pit stops. Adelaide Fong all over Pitti now. Fong, of course, from Hong Kong, the 24-year-old former single-seater driver from Formula 3, GP3, and even had a Formula 1 test with Sauber. So bags of experience, and he's now looking to get into 3rd place. It's on the inside for a moment, but he can't get past the Thai driver this time. There's Frank Yu getting massive pressure from the McLaren, but holding him off just. This massively long, defining straight here in Korea. If you can tuck yourself in behind somebody and get close enough, there's always an overtake chance here into this right-hander. This time Anthony Liu, though, not close enough. And Venter doing a very good job of just keeping that gap steady. There's Frank in the Aston Martin, Frank Yu. Brilliant season last year, Frank. Really have become a very accomplished driver. And through goes Fong. Nicely done by Adelaide Fong, who waited, good patience, chose his moment. Saying earlier in the weekend that this Bentley may look big, but actually, it of course is a front engine car, but its balance is excellent, and it's far more nimble than it perhaps looks at first. I saw it at Macau last year, and it looked somewhat cumbersome, but it certainly wasn't. And you can see by the way he just jinks out here. Plenty of balance. Much smaller Ferrari. Thumbs up there for the boys. They're leading the way. So it's Venter, Liu, and Fong now. You can see the gap for yourself. A lot of work for the Bentley to do to catch up to these two, that's for sure. But of course, the pit stops may change that. And Frank Yu trying to stave off the McLaren of Hamaguchi in the number 55, of course, teaming up with Antonio Liuzzi. As we look at another Italian, Davide Rizzo, waiting for his stint after Liu in third place brings it in to the pits. We'll be expecting those pit stops soon, and then the professionals will get in, and we should have another cracking finish. But already the leaders coming up on traffic, and now with the pit stop window, the blue flag's being waved. Good marshalling here in Korea, and now it's a case of being very careful in this critical time in the race, not to get stuck behind anybody. But this track is so wide and long, there really isn't too much worry of that. Venter just picking his time nicely through. And Liu, though, putting in some excellent laps. He's closed the gap, and these two are pulling away from this man, PT in third place in the number 11 Ferrari, the Singer-sponsored Thai driver. And here comes Liu to make his move on the Bentley. Nicely done. So we await the pit stops, and it's critical to get those right. And we've seen in previous GT championships, and Hamaguchi still looking for a way past Frank Yu, and he hasn't found one yet. We found in previous GT championships that the pit stops can be crucial, especially getting the timing right. So often, people desperate to get out quickly just miss it by a couple of seconds and don't do their full time stop, and they are penalised. Oh Young has seen it all before. Very experienced driver and a real success story from Hong Kong to the dizzy heights of the World Touring Car Championship, to Le Mans, and continues to be one of Asia's best exponents in a motor car. Frank Yu up to fourth place, past Pitty down the long straight. Nicely executed. And Frank Yu having a very good stint here. And here come the leaders. If anything, Anthony Liu has reeled in the leader, Jonathan Venter. We haven't had a lot of track time, really, given that they didn't get any laps at all, the leaders in round one. And now Hamaguchi looking to get past Pitty as well. He wanted to continue that battle with Frank Yu, but they hit the Ferrari at the worst of times, and he'll want to get past as quick as he can, Hamaguchi. It's a really potent combination, Hamaguchi and Liuzzi. Really looking forward to seeing Liuzzi if he does go all the way to the Invitational at Macau. There he is. Former Formula One star, Italian, former world karting champion, if my memory serves me correct. And it's just amazing how this championship has attracted the very best in the world when it comes to drivers. And also for the manufacturers, it's become a testing ground, if you will, for Le Mans, for WEC, for the Tudor Series, and this GTAsia championship, run by Motorsport Asia, of course. And here we go. The pit stops are on the way. The leaders go through. And if anything, Jonathan Venter has maintained that gap. But as you can see, it's not something he can relax about at all. And he's going to be worried, I'm sure, that the pit stop goes to plan. Hamaguchi is in. Triple F Racing, all calm and collected. McLaren. In goes Liuzzi. And the VLT, number 99, continues. Aston Martin, such great success around the world with this car. It's a beautiful car. We're used to seeing it in the Golf livery, of course, in the World Championship. Zenlo in Malaysian for Team 00 Racing. So Lamborghini, we've got a few of those. A few years ago, we had a bunch of Lamborghinis taking part. Not so many at the moment. A lot of McLarens, Ferraris, Aston Martins. And away goes Antonio Liuzzi for Triple F Racing. Screeching the tyres, but no problems. Is this the pit stop for the Aston Martin? The critical pit stop which could decide this race. He's gapped himself a little bit from Anthony Liu. No, not this time. They come under the famous bridge again. And we We may just see the number 37 Ferrari choose exactly the same time to pit as the leading Aston Martin. And now they've got traffic ahead as well. Fong losing ground in the Bentley somewhat, but still in touch. And no success penalties for the leader, of course, so looking good at the moment as Yokomizo and Liuzzi going at it. And Antonio Liuzzi's got to be careful here because he doesn't want to get into a battle he doesn't need this early on, but well, you tell a former Formula One star that. Richard Lyons in the car for Aston Martin. Frank Yu putting in a good stint. And this too is a very, very strong combination. Frank Yu of Hong Kong and Richard Lyons of Ulster in Ireland. So much experience, Lyons takes the Aston Martin advantage out of the pit lane. And in comes the number 37. And this, an important swap over too. Davide Rizzo races round to the driver's side. Yokomizo and Liuzzi still 4th and 5th. And the number 23, that's Jerry Wang in the Absolute Racing Audi R8 LMS GT3. Just getting out of the way there. And letting these three battle on. It's a long season ahead. They go to Japan next, and familiar ground, of course. And always a lot of wild cards. Rizzo then, still in the pits, getting the tyres done. Probably feels like an eternity when you're there. And this battle continues. Lyons now joins the fray in 6th position. Oh, and almost having a pop at Liuzzi then, and he lost ground there. He got right behind the Italian. And the Irish were a little bit too racy at that moment. And he's caught back up quickly though. He looks faster at the moment than the former Formula One star. As out goes Rizzo. Followed by the Golf Porsche. And in comes the leader, Jonathan Venter. This is the key to the race. VLT car. Goes up on the jacks. In comes Adelaide Fong. Bentley. Can't believe they crashed in practice, did Adelaide Fong. Rammed into the back of one of the McLarens and damaged the car, but still took a front row start. Orderly pit stop by the looks of things, no drama. And in will come the most experienced man of all, Daryl O'Young. And thumbs up from his teammate Jonathan. Really enjoying his stint in Asia. Good hands with Daryl. Daryl's got all the experience of these circuits and of sports car racing, especially at Aston Martin level. He's raced for Aston Martin at Le Mans as Daryl. And out he comes then. Daryl O'Young of Hong Kong in the Craft Bamboo Racing Aston Martin Vantage V12 GT3. Really has flown the flag brilliantly for Hong Kong. Daryl O'Young, when he started off in the early days of the Porsche Carrera Cup in Asia and won that. He was splendid in that. Great to see at Macau always. And he really has been a flag bearer for both Hong Kong and the Asian motorsports scene. Now can he put a win on the board? Remember, they had a DNF in round 1. They really need the points. And it's going to be one of those years, I think, where you've got to be consistent. There's so many good teams and drivers out there. So it's O'Young, Sauer and Rizzo. Those are your professional drivers now, 1, 2 and 3. Can Kitasawa of Japan make some ground up? Will Rizzo catch up? And Yokomizo, Lyons and Liuzzi. Lyons has got past Antonio Liuzzi. And Richard Lyons on the run and moving fast through the field. Long season ahead. We head to Japan after this. Each venue has 2-point scoring races. A couple of races in Japan, then Malaysia, of course, Shanghai, China. So a lot of racing to come from these famous marks all around the region, and all the tracks are iconic as well. There goes the McLaren, just taking a little bit more time than he wanted through that corner, past the Porsche. But he's made it stick. The Italians, as always, in gesticulating conversation. Right now, the talk is all of O'Young. And he really has got a cracking lead. Now the battle for second place really hotting up between the Bentley and the Ferrari. Davide Rizzo, the Italian, in third place, really pushing hard on the Japanese now, who's going to have to really have his wits about it. And I don't think it's going to be long before Rizzo makes his move. Up the inside. Good defensive driving from Sauer, but he can't shut the door completely. And through into second place goes Davide Rizzo. And surely not. Could another victory be on the cards? Well, Darrell Young will have things to say about that, but this has been another exemplary performance by the BBT team. They did it last time in Korea, this time last year, as almost a surprise package. Nobody expected anything from them. New team, and they were vying for the championship in the hands of David Liu all the way to Macau. And could they be doing it again this year, I wonder? Certainly it's been an excellent start. GTAsia, new to, of course, the Bentley team. They're in their first season in the GT3. And so Sauer choosing to swap teams, and good time to do it. Great to be part of the Works Bentley team in their first forage into Asia properly. Ferrari watch on, as already Rizzo starting to build. Jimmy Bruni will also be driving the 458, and Tony Wielander in this season, so we've got the best of the best coming here to drive in the GTAsia Championship. And of course we had Rob Bell last year in the championship too, racing in Europe this year, so we may see him make an appearance or two in Asia. Liuzzi is through, but still in a big battle. And it's very evenly matched, the battle between McLaren and Ferrari. When you see them on track, very similar looking in shape, and performance not that different. 458 obviously a little bit older than the McLaren, but competitively very evenly matched. So then Darrell Young heading towards the checkered flag and takes it for round two. Great way to bounce back. They took pole position, and Jonathan Venter takes his first win for the team. VLT Aston Martin with Darrell Young, having had the DNF in round one. Anthony Liu and Davide Rizzo will lead the championship, and that's why the lights are flashing on the Ferrari, because they've done it again really in Korea, and they will now lead the championship going in to the next race. Across the line comes the Bentley. Good showing in its first outing too, as part of the GTAsia season full time. And a check on the results then. Confirmation, Jonathan Venter and Darrell Young win ahead of Liu and Rizzo. Fong and Sauer taking third place. Good recovery for them. And Birambakti and Yukimizo taking fourth place ahead of Craig Baird of New Zealand. And Richard Wee on fifth place ahead of Hamaguchi and Liuzzi 6. Lee and Varney 7.
Oh, it's just such a great feeling to come out on top. We've been working so hard the whole week. Slight disappointment yesterday, but to walk away with the win today is just a great relief. I think it's great for Craft Bamboo, it's great for Aston Martin. It's a really good start to the season.
And Jono I think he drove the stint of his life there. He drove really hard, and he had a lot of pressure from Liu, but he held it together. You know, he's developing really strong as a young driver, and really happy, really pleased today to get VLT Craft Bamboo Racing, the number 99, to win here today.
So congratulations to Aston Martin, and it's Australia and Hong Kong in the form of Jonathan Venter and Darrell Young on top ahead. Anthony Liu and Davide Rizzo of Italy in second place, but they will lead the championship after Korea and heading to Japan. Confirmation then, 34 points to Anthony Liu and Davide Rizzo, 20 points to Adelaide Fong and GTAsia. That new combination right where they need to be in the Bentley. Then Frank Yu and Richard Lyons in third on 19 points, just 1 point ahead after that DNF and win for Venter and Young. Then Mock and Collado have 16 points ahead of Jeffrey Lee and Jean-Carl Vernet. So great weekend for Aston Martin and a great start to the season for Craft Bamboo. They do it all again for rounds 3 and 4, and that will be in Okayama, Japan in June. And if the racing's as good as it was here at the Korea International Circuit, we're in for a treat. Long season ahead in 2015, the most competitive field we've ever had in GTAsia. My thanks to all those involved in the Motorsport Asia production. From GTAsia, and me, Jonathan Green. Until next time, goodbye for now.